Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, welcome back to the operating system programming concepts. So today we are doing is cell programming. That's Bash. Okay, Born Against Cell. That is the most popular programming, cell programming language used recently. So okay, let's begin our operating system programming concepts of laboratory manual. And here, you know, we are using some file. Mostly we use files. So how to handle files in cell programming? Are I have listed some kind of file conditionals that you use. Like mostly you use some kind of file conditionals. Okay, the most used file conditioner are just listed here, and you can like conditionally check if. Okay, so if is a conditional statement, so you can check if the directory, if the file that you have provided is it a directory. So this statement is going to return true if the file is a directory, whereas correspondingly also you can check in this condition it like you check it if the file exists. Similarly for -f you check that if the file is a regular file, and -g stands for if the file is a if true returns true if the set group id is set on the file. Alright, so similarly -r for if the file is readable, -s for if the file is non-zero size, whereas -u for if the user id is set, okay, on the file, whereas -w for if the file is writable, and -x if the file is executable. Alright, so these are some kind of file conditionals. Now, okay, I am presenting here a simple example, okay, of this condition. And for using this kind of bash script, you guys have to always um, just comment to the system. This is a special comment that is given to the system, that whenever you run this file, you have to use this path, that is bin/bash, to execute this kind of file, right? So this was the idea for this special comment. And similarly, you declare the condition with the following. You say that the number of parameter $has means all the number of parameter passed, total number of parameter passed is not equal to 1, then you just echo out something and exit. That means you didn't pass any kind of parameters as argument, right? So similarly, not exist this particular argument that you pass, then you just print out the file doesn't exist. Or similarly, if the file is not a, is it a regular file, and similarly is it a directory, such, okay, such and such. And lastly, you know that the if conditional is always terminated by this fi statement, right? So now we are going about a cell syntax case, and this is uh, a statement that is used mostly to check the pattern, certain kind of pattern. So if the so what you do, the cell syntax is provided here, and the case is terminated by exact, just the opposite of case, right? And the case with the variable in, so certainly you declare a pattern, any kind of pattern, and if the pattern exists, then you just print out the following statement. So you just run the following statements, and it is terminated by double semicolons. All right. So here is also some particular example that I have listed, and you can check out like what I'm doing here is like I'm just echoing out, is it a day or a night? I'm just calling for the from the user to just input some data. So you read the data, that is you read the time, and if the time case, the variable that is the time in certain pattern, if he enters yes pattern, okay, so actually this read is going to read from the standard from the user, that is from standard input. All right, uh, and if the pattern is this one, then you just execute this statement, whereas the pattern is no, you execute this statement. and this is some default pattern. In this case you just echo out that this is not recognized, right? Lastly, you terminate by exec statement. And now cell syntax command execution. So here are some kind of syntax and cell syntax command execution. So usually we put the result of a command execution in a variable. So this is just to give you an idea that whenever you are like echoing out some certain statement, you can also echo out with the certain dollar sign with a certain statement, okay, certain command. Okay, so this will echo out the whole the variable of this command, whatever variable this command returns. Okay, whatever value this command returns is going to be echo out, right? So cell syntax arithmetic expansion. So you guys have to understand that expansion expression, okay, expressions are always just in a tilde bracket, okay, tilde colon. So these expressions, all the expressions that will be related with the arithmetic command will be just enclosed in a tilde bracket, a tilde okay. So also you guys can use this special kind of format, okay. In this format what you do is you just declare a dollar sign and it's enclosed in a double bracket, double closed bracket, circle bracket, okay, two circle bracket, double closed circle bracket. And for example you can just increment your variable. If you want to just declare I plus plus, then you can just use such kind of format, that is the variable I, dollar I is passed plus incremented by 1 and similar like this. So right now I have provided. Okay guys, then yeah, this is the examples I have provided here. So this example states that you have to read a file line by line. So what is the idea behind this reading a file line by line? So first thing you guys have always to do is check the parameters that are passed. So whatever parameters, because we are reading a file, so file is passed as a parameter, right? So you have to first check the parameter, because you have to just make sure that is the file passed as a parameter or not. And after you are sure that the file is passed, then while you loop, you read, okay, with this read command, you read a line. This is just declare the variable using of this variable line. Then you echo out the following line. That means you are reading line by line. And lastly, you can also echo out the maximum length of the line by providing this special command. And if you guys go and check out, okay, for example, okay, let me go to my terminal. If you go and man bash, if you go and check out in the manual bash, and for the, if you go and check out for the topic that is called parameter, okay, wait, what is it? No, it's not here. But if you go and check out for the topic parameter, you will see you can check out here, it's a parameter is here. And if you see, if you just investigate, what you find, okay, let's go a little deeper. Okay, let's investigate. And when you investigate, you will see something like, yeah, okay, yes, this is the one. This is a special command that I am using with a curly bracket and a hash sign, then the parameter is passed. So whatever it returns is going to return the parameter length value. So the whatever parameter I am passing, that is I am passing here a line that I am reading. So it is reading a line. So it is going to just pass you the value, the length of the line. So the maximum length of the line will be something like this. Alright. Maximum, or you can just write it's a length, it's not a overall dimension, it will just return the length of the line. But okay, let's go part, sorry for that. The next, the length in character of value parameter. The parameter is okay. If you go and check out the documentation,
Qui non c'è niente che
okay, alright, if you go and check out, it's just say that the length is in characters of a value of a parameter is substituted. Alright, so that's it. So for the second part, I have provided here a second example, that is about reading a file word by word. So what can be done? For similarly as above, we just also check the parameters, then we loop in this $1, that is our first parameter, the first parameter passed. Okay, we catenate, that means we first list out. Okay, catenate means just display, print out. Okay, so for each W in this all the list of the file, okay, you just echo out each word, that is word by word. Alright, so that's it. So this is all automatically done actually. Okay, so let's begin our programming session then. In our programming session, the learning goal in this laboratory will be just to improve your knowledge about synchronization by means of pipes. Okay, and you'll also learn how to write some complex bash scripts. So, and in exercise 1, what you are going to do is you are implementing a C program that is simulating the evaluation of the exams. Alright, so the evaluation is carried out by a teacher and an assistant. So correcting the exam and accessing information to give the final marks. So more in detail, the procedure will be implemented by a program reading the name of two files as a command line parameters and generating two processes, the teacher and the assistant processes. So the teacher process corrects the first part of the exam, reading data from the first data file. The file includes the student for each line in the following format. So this is the format of the first file, and suppose the maximum size of the first three fields, this one is 20 characters, whereas the fourth field is 0 to 50, and just for your information. And then the teacher and the assistants are synchronized as follows. So the teacher process sends, okay, so just be careful in this context. Okay, so the teacher process is going to send to the assistant process the surname and the name of the student. Alright, so the assistant process receives the surname and the name of the student and then starts simulating the correction of the second part of the exam and reading the second part marks from the keyboard. Alright, so then it sends the value that is read through the keyboard to the teacher's process. Okay, the teacher process, that means first the teacher process sends the information to the assistant process. So and then after the information is received, the assistants start simulating the exam paper, and then suddenly he sends the marks back to the teacher process, and then the teacher process sums up the 2 marks, okay, and write down the data to the second file. The second file has the same format as the first input file, that is this similar format. Alright, and then the process continue with the following students. Okay, so you guys can use 2 pipes to transfer data to the assistants and to the teacher process, and be careful to terminate the assistant process when the teacher process terminates. Alright guys, so what can be done here? So how can it be done? So just think about it guys, and I have a solution here for you guys, that is by using the pipe, right? Teacher and assistant process. And what is done here is all the standard library header files, that is including the library Unix standard header file, system wait file, signals. Okay, all are included here. And also you define the maximum path and maximum line here. And you guys know that the function is declared here. And what is done here is, here we are using the signal. Okay, so that is the signal handler is defined here. So if you guys go and check here, the first immediate step that we have to do in such kind of process that we are going to synchronize is we have to first fork, that is create the process, that is a child process and a parent process. So whenever you fork, you create a child process and a parent process. So the idea is child process will be the assistant process, and the parent process will be the teacher process, because we have two processes, right? So also we declare a signal handler, we install a signal handler here. And lastly we also pipe, we call the system call, like the function pipe here, that's also a system call here, pipe. For pipe we pass the required file descriptors, because it must be passed as a parameter, right? And for your convenience, we have done is, for a teacher sending to the assistant, we have used one pipe, that is a teacher sending information to the student, assistant I mean. And for the second pipe, what we are doing is we are sending the assistant is sending information back to the teacher. Alright, and if you guys check out here, the function of assistant and function of the teacher is also provided here with the respective parameters, like file descriptors, argument. Alright, and the assistant's PID is something like this. Whereas for also the assistant, the following information is provided. Alright, so if you go and check out, the catcher is just a signal handler that just always returns. And for teacher, what is done here is okay, let's just extend the function of teacher. What it is done here, what teacher does is, here all the variables are declared, and what is done is, firstly it closes the file descriptors. That means it is going to just null out all the information that is associated with the file descriptor. That means close a file descriptor. That means so no other files is referring to this file descriptor. You understand? So that is just to null out the reference. Okay, so that this file descriptor is totally null. That means totally doesn't refer to any other files. Alright, because we are going to use this file descriptors. Now the teacher PID, okay, you open the file, and you get the information from the file, you read the information from the file, that is, you get the information like the teacher, the surname, ID, name and marks. Alright, so you scan all this information. And what is done here, the important thing, that is, like, first the teacher is going to write into the file descriptor. Okay, that is from teacher is sending to the assistant. Okay, look, you can check out from the file descriptor teacher to assistants, it is going to write, that is, it is going to send the information, send the message. Alright, so after sending the message, your message is incremented, that is, the message has been sent, it sleeps for 2 seconds, and then it sends the signal to the assistant PID, that is the assistant. And lastly it pauses, waits for the assistant process to respond or send the signal back. And lastly it reads, that is, after the signal has been received, it reads from the assistant to the teacher. So look, the file descriptor assistant to the teacher is read here. That means the assistant is sending information to the teacher, that is read here, of the maximum size and max line. And lastly the message that is sent will be a marks. So the marks is read, it is converted to the integer number attoi by using the function attoi, and the marks is added, right? And lastly it prints out the following information to the file. Alright, so and also you guys can see here that while this you do not read any kind of information, what you are going to do is you are going to just write the okay, you send the signal, you write from teacher to assistant, you send the signal, you wait for the status, and lastly this is done. Okay, lastly you flush out the standard output, that is stream of data. Alright, for here in assistance function, what you can see is similar thing is done. What it does is, the important thing what it does is it just reads from the teacher the information sent from the teacher of maximum line here, max line, and it just first it checks out, it compares that the information sent from the teacher, that will be the surname and the name, scans the surname and name, it compares if they are okay or not, and then what it does is just checks the second part of the test, that is it's going to send the marks that is obtained by the student to the teacher. And the information is just scanned here. The marks that is will be obtained by the student, will be sent by the assistant, will be scanned from here. Alright, and then you just write it back to the teacher from file using the file descriptor assistant teacher. Okay, and then it slips and send the signal to the teacher, and lastly it prints out the following information in a file. Alright, so this is the thing how you guys should solve this kind of synchronization using the file descriptors. Alright, by using the pipes. Okay, now what we should do is we should come back here and we should see, we have solved this exercise number 1, right? Okay, now what we'll do, we'll check out this exercise number 2. And in exercise number 2, what you guys have to do is write a simple bash script reading 2 command line parameters. One is a file, another is a string. So the file whose name is passed as the first command line parameter includes a number of each line. So the string will be the extension of the output files. Alright, so extension means .txt or .c or .o, something like this. So the script has to read the file name line by line, generate for each line the corresponding number of Fibonacci items. You guys know that the Fibonacci is something like each number, previous 2 numbers are added and just displayed, and again secondly previous 2 numbers are added and displayed. So this is the algorithm of Fibonacci. So basically the concept is like you have to just read from the input file and just write a Fibonacci number to the output file. Alright, and that's it. And that means generating a Fibonacci file. So if a number read from the file, that is, for example, if you read 5, then you have to just display Fibonacci number in another file, the corresponding file. So here is some logical description, like a procedure of how it should follow, the exercise or the program should follow is like, you have a file that is Fibonacci.txt. It consists of the data like 5, 10, 12. Okay, and lastly you write a shell that is made executable, and then the parameters that are passed is this file and an extension. Okay, that is a string. So what you it will do, it is in 3 files. Okay, for one for each file line, that means one for 5, one for 10, one for 12, and this will be the file, and the file will be such that it will have the extension that is provided by this parameter, and also the name will be also different. Name will consist of the same name as provided by parameter, but also the line what it is read, the number line that is read from the line, the number that is read from the line. Alright, so this must be concatenated, and following will displays this kind of information in the file. Alright, so now let's try and do this exercise. Okay, yes, what we will do, we'll use this testing.cell file. Alright, and whatever it is before, just remove this. Alright guys, so okay, let me just go through step by step. So it's a bash file, so always follow the same follow this special command, and special command is for pname bash. And secondly, what you have to do is you have to read the file line by before reading, let's check the parameter. That always we have to do. So checking the parameter is the reason is not equals to 2. So 2 parameters are passed actually. Then echo, what you have to echo is you have to say that $0 is used as a file, or you can also say that wrong number parameter pass or anything like that. Just the echo, just the message that we didn't pass any kind of required parameters that must be passed, right? And lastly, exit. You guys can also write exit 1 or something like this, but also exit is okay, it works. And close the if condition. And now in the second condition, what you have to do is read the file line by line. So what you guys have to do is that in a while loop, you read line and do while you read done. Okay, you pass a parameter, that is first parameter. Alright, so what we do while we're reading the file is we have to read line by line and generate for each line the corresponding number of Fibonacci items. So the line is read. Okay, you guys can just do the value of line will be something like this. Now we need to declare another variable, that is S1, because you guys know that Fibonacci number will starts from 1, 1, okay, and similarly from 1 will be added and it will be 2. Alright, so you can check here. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1 will be added and it will be 2. 2, 1 will be added, it will be 3, and 3, 2 will be added, it will be 5. So something like this, the algorithm works like this. So we need these two numbers, like, so let's declare, let's use this number or assign this number. That will be, it will be 1, it will be also 1, and it will be second number, right? And what we guys should follow is like check the condition that what if the line grade is not 5, it may be like 1. So what we can do is like if the line grade, we can also say something like we can say something like, okay, if the line is greater than or equal to 1, then what you do, then you echo and say that $S1, and what you do is you have to append it with the file that you want to provide, file name. Alright, but you guys have to be always careful that the file name is not the same file name. Where is the file name? We have to declare also a variable that is a file name. So before that, getting the file name, we have to just the file name will be passed as a argument number 1. Okay, so what can be done? We have to use, for this particular concept, we have to use a base name. Okay, just it will just remove the extension. It will just give you the base name without the extension. So $1 and the extension will be .txt because it's a text file. Alright, and then what you have to do, you can also say that this, that's it. So after that, can we use immediately this one? Yeah, I think it's okay. Now you can use this as a file name, and you know the value of file name is here, and you concatenate with the file name, and with the number must be also there. So and there must be line, that is a number, any number that it reads, dot, and the extension will be passed by the third parameter, that is second parameter, that is s second, and that's it, I think. Alright, and else you guys can also have to echo $s2 will be also appended to the same file, that is $s2 file name $line plus $s2. Alright, so now for condition $i is less than $line, so whatever line. Okay, so now the real algorithm comes. Okay, and in this algorithm what you have to understand is, like, if you say 1 and 1 is printed here, okay, for line greater than 1 is also 1 is printed here, also like else also, like also in this case the second line is printed here. Now for 0 1, now for condition 2, what it does, it has to add these two numbers and put here, right? And similarly it has to go on with the loop. So let's add these numbers. Let's define declare, like, use this number as s1. Okay, also here you guys have to use this kind of expression, that is some modern expression that is used to do arithmetic operations, right? And s1 will be added to $s2. Now from this you just get once this number, but it has to loop, right? It has to, then the number will be like this one, and again it should do with the similar way, okay, for 2 3, and again for 3 5, okay, and similarly it goes on. So for this purpose, these declared variables like s1 will be assigned to s2, whereas s2 will be assigned to s. Alright, so after that you echo out and you say that s, the value of s will be appended to the following file name, that is file name $line dot $s2. Is not $s2, but it's to be $2, second parameter, that is the extension. Alright guys, okay, I think we are done with these situations, but also be careful that we have to be done with this loop, that is for loop, and this is done for the following loop, that is a while loop. I guess that everything is working here. Let's close this shell script file. Okay, so I already have this Fibonacci text. Okay, sorry. Yes, I have the similar information, that is 5, 10, 12. I can also like catenate it and change to any other information, like let's put it here, something like let's write here 3, 9 and 18. Okay, let's see what happens. Alright, so we have this info 3, 9, 18. Now let's run this shell script in a bash script. Let's pass the parameter, that is first is Fibonacci, and I want the extension to be something like any extension, Superman or Super. Alright, so there is some error in line number 10, so let's go back to gedit. Where is line 18? Alright guys, so here was some error. Alright, don't need to worry. Yeah, similarly, yeah, it's executed right now. Go and check out. Yes, look, 3 files are generated, that is Fibonacci 3.super with extension super Fibonacci, 9.super with extension Fibonacci, 18.super. So let's see, are there some Fibonacci numbers in these files that I have generated or no? Fibonacci 18.super. Yes, of course, man, there are some files generated and it is perfectly okay, because you can see here 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5. Similarly, for 18th degree it has just printed out. Alright, so this is it. So with this information, let me clear this screen, let me go back, and we are done with the program. That was this one, that was to write this bash script and to generate the Fibonacci numbers, right? Alright guys, so now let's see and check out this exercise number 3, and what it says that write a bash script that compares the content of 2 directories, passes the parameter including both files and subdirectories, must write the list and round the list of the files and subdirectories belong to both directories passed as parameters. And I suggest you guys to do it by your own, but I have a particular idea for you guys to give, that is difference. You guys can use the difference command, because there is already a bash command or shell command that is going to differentiate between the files, that is diff. Compares file line by line, so it will compare the files. Alright, so you guys can check these descriptions here, the documentation is provided here. You guys can use this command, okay, just to make a difference in a file. But you guys can also write the second shell script, the third exercise 3 shell script all by your own. And let me show the use of this difference. Okay, let me check out, do I have, yeah, I have 2 folders like that is text1 and text2. Let me catenate. Okay, let me change the directory, let me list, yeah, we have these 2, change directory. Yes, I have also some following directory here. So if I use this command, that is difference, and I want to see the difference between test1 and test2, it is okay, just displayed here by using a simple command, that is diff test1, and what is the difference? So only in test1 folder you have this following file, whereas only in test2 you have following file, and only in test2 you have following file. Alright, so here it always shows the difference. And okay, we are done with that situation. Now that is screen. And about exercise, what about exercise number 4 then? In exercise number 4, what you have to do is you have to write a C program, that is som.c, that receives the name of two files as a command line parameters. And the first file contains a list of integer numbers, 2 for each row. And the second file must contain some line by line of the input file alert values. So once written the source code, first we have to write the source code, and in the second part we have to write a bash script, and says that write a bash script which receives 3 command line parameters and calls som.ax equals this file after that is included in the directory name string1 has the same extension specified by string2 and does not exist a corresponding file with the same name and extension as string2. So the basic idea is like you have to write a bash script in which you provide this is the som.bash script, and you provide 3 parameters. That is, first is dot, that is it is going to search in this current directory, and in means it is going to search for the files in extension, and this third parameter is like out, so it's going to also check for the file with in extension with the same name, and it also checks for with the same name does the out file with the same name with the in extension file exist also with the out extension file. Are the names same or do they exist in the same folder? If they do not exist, then you have to just execute this command. You have to just say that so yeah, what is said? Sources for the files in the same name ending with it does not exist. So if the file exists, then it has to just execute this command, that is som execute test in file test1 file dot in and test1 dot out. Alright, we'll do this. First let's finish our C program. Okay, for the C program I'm here in a code block, so let me begin. And for C program, what you guys have to receive 2 parameters, that is 2 file names. One is one file name consists of some certain list of integer numbers, 2 for each row, and the second file must contain the sum of these lines. Okay, sum of these 2 lines, 2 numbers must be provided in a second file. Okay. Include standard header file, standard output header file. Include also the standard header files, standard library header files, and others you do not need to include. So main v. So what you have to do is like file, just declare a read file pointer and a pointer to write. Okay, so read pointer is pointing to fopen function, and with the argument pass p is 1, it is going to just read. P write is just opening the file. The argument that passed is argument number 2, and is going to just write the file, write something to the file. This is something like this one, and okay, so you loop f get string, so you get the string from the file, that is f pointer r, right? You get the string somewhere in a variable that is a declare here line with the size as function size m. Just define the size m be 10 characters, because we have just there 2 numbers. Okay, we just need to add that, right? So, and line of maximum size and file pointer from file pointer reader is not equals to null, then scan from the string, that is string is this line, you scan from this line that contains this the information that is read from the line that is got from the file pointer, right? And then what you have to do is you just scan the integer number, floating point numbers assigned to s. So guys, what you first have to declare is a integer sum that is initialized to 0. Declare this variable, and also you have to declare this integer number that we are going to scan the information to, and for each file that is read, it sums plus equals to s. Alright, so now what you have to do is it's just looping line by line. Okay, you guys have to it's getting string from one string at a time, one string to reach the file, and again it grabs the second string to reach the file, and that's it. It adds, the information is added. Now what you have to do is you just print f to the file the following information, that is the information about this, whatever the sum that is added. Now lastly you close reader. Alright, so this is the simple program, just to read a file and grab the information, sum it, and then write the sum for the another file, that is the output file. Input file, read the information, sum the numbers, then write it to the another file. Okay, yeah, no error. Alright, just to check out. So let's write this bash script. Okay, then I'll just give you some hint about how to write it, because it's not a of how highly like it's something that is not so much important, I think. Yeah, I should say. But I will just give you an idea how to write this kind of files and how to check it out. We'll also okay, let's go back again to the testing the cell file. And this was the previous information, so I just want to just make it empty, and then again I'll write this special comment, and what I will do is I will try to go through this its requirements, that is I need to search in the current directory for all the files ending in .in. So first let me check the pass parameter if the parameters passed that are $has, the number of parameters is not equals to 3, then you have to equal out that file is used now. Then you have to check out in the second situation, that is right, while. You guys can go through while, you guys can go through for file in certain information, like you have to execute this command, that is find what, find a file in a current directory. So the directory is passed as a parameter. First parameter contains dot, right? So where the file should be searched. Alright, and second, you have to search for the name. The extension will be .in. So what will be done is the extension will be something like .in, and the type will be file. For all these files that you find, do something like this. Alright, and do what is like you guys have to okay, so we have to check out that is the same name, is this file name, that is f $f, is it equal with the another file that I have to check, that will be of the same name but the extension will be different. So what I have to do is, like, I just assign here and I just say that okay, so just give me the base name. The base name should be something like base name of this file. For each file that is read, it is passed here, it is checked for the base name, and the extension will be something like .in, right? So we just get the name of the file. So file name, the second file name will be this base name dot, the extension will be something like out. Is it okay? But this out is passed as a parameter, and that parameter is third parameter, right? Okay, so we are done. So if, check the condition, that is if this file name exists, then you just see that then echo the file name exists, right? So otherwise do not write down here, else you write here no, you have to write here because it doesn't exist, file name do not exist. Okay, else write the file name exists, and now executing. So you have to execute what is passing this parameter, you have to execute this command, right? The execution, the two parameters that are passed here, test1.in and test. So here, okay, let me go through. So there is JSON exe. Okay, this is a executable file, and you have to pass this file name, that is f file name dot dollar second parameter and the third parameter, that is file name dot third parameter, right? So we have to execute this thing, and this is going to execute. So we have to close this if statement here for this is closed here. Always be careful to check and to close this if state, like if condition is checked here, done here. Okay, so we are done. So this is the simple bash program for this program. Okay, just to check and then execute the following command. Check if the file exists, then pass the parameter as a certain situation. Okay, all right guys, so this is it for lab number 9. So let me go through the summary. And in this laboratory, what you guys have understood is how to synchronize the two processes by means of the pipe, and you guys also improve your understanding of writing the bash shell scripts, right? So we will continue more, okay, in our following lectures that is coming that will provide you some more magic. Will show you more magic or more commands, more more powerful commands, just to make bash script very easier. Alright, so thanks for listening, and just I will come back again. Okay, see you.